Hi everyone, hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to learn about functions. So, firstly, what is function? Function is a block of code. Basically, in function, you can write a number of statements and we can call a function by its name. So, let's start it. For function, to create a function, you need to write a func, that is the keyword or the method name that we are need to use to indicate a function, and after that you can write down any name. Let us suppose do some task do some task. This is the name of my function. So after that you have to write the name of the function. We have to include the round brackets, and after that we have to include the curly brackets, and inside this curly brackets you can write down any statement and you can write down any code. So this, by calling this function, this code will execute. So even on the round brackets you can pass any kind of parameters inside that. So but right now we are going to discuss the basic function declaration. So I'm going to add one comment on that. Function basic. Okay, so inside that, so what we need to do is, if we have to call this function, so we have to write like do some task. It will call this function. So inside that, let us suppose I'm going to print something. So we'll hello. Let me run this. You will see in the console the hello is going to print. So this is a very simple declaration about a function. So now I'm going to include some parameters. Function with parameters. Okay, so now I'm going to use func, and then I will write task 2. Okay, this is my second function declaration. Inside that, let us suppose I'm going to pass name, and the data type is string. So if I'm going to print this, let us suppose I'm going to print this function method, so we have to call print name. So how we call that method? That will contain the parameter like do some task to name is equal to, you can pass any value. Let us suppose testing. Okay, no, we will type some name like Joan. Okay, after that when I run this thing, you will see the Joan is printing on the console. Right now what's happening, we are going to pass that argument, the parameter, so it will taking the value as a string. Okay, now let us suppose I want to include the word hello along with this name. Then what I need to do is, so I will type hello. Okay, then what we need to do is, we need to include the backward slash, then we have to include the round bracket. Then, so this is how you can include the word hello. You can include any kind of description along with the parameter. So now you will see on the console it's printing hello Joan. Now if I can pass multiple parameters in this method, in this function as well. So for that, what you need to do is you have to put a comma, then you can include any another parameter. Let us suppose I include the age, and for that and the data type is integer. So now you will see this function is now not exist because it's having a new parameter. So for that, what you need to do is, firstly we will raise that thing and then we will call the new methods. So you will see here, we will type the name is John and the age is 20. So when I try to, okay, sorry, it's not string. Okay, see, now you will see it's not giving you age because you are not printing that age parameter inside this, even though you are passing that age, but it's not printing that. So for that, what you need to do is, let us suppose, then I will include that in that statement only, like he is backward slash, then we will include is years old. So we'll see, we will again compile the program and you will see, hello John, he is 20 years old. So you will see in this way you can include multiple parameters and you can print the values of that parameters. So even one thing you have to notice is that if you include this function, you will see by default their return type is void. So that's why we don't need to include any kind of type for that. If we are in later, we are also going to do, like, we are setting the data type to or return type to basically integer or string, then we have to pass that value to that function. So I'm not getting you confused for that, so we will do that thing later on. So for that, if you can do also that function declaration with the parameters in that way only. Let us suppose you don't want to include these parameters, the written name and the age along in this declaration of the function. For that, what you need to do is, firstly put a hyphen and then you have to include some space. The same way for the age, what you have to do is put hyphen and then age. So you will see now this is also not picking. Either you can set that value directly over that, or you can put the value from that, like, see, inside you will see when you pass the value, you will see name and age are still there, but when you actually passing that value, the name and age is gone. It's just that you can only pass your string and integer value to that method. So see, some task to see, it is combining now, so it will also get disappear. You can put any value, let us suppose it's a Ram and the age is 35. Okay, we'll see. Okay, now we run. Okay, again I forget, like, this is the integer value. So okay, what we need to do is we will run the program again. See, hello Ram, he is 35 years old. So, and here is hello John, he is 20 years old. So in that way you can play around with the function with the see, right now what we are doing is, firstly we are done the function with the normal declaration that doesn't contain any parameter. After that we include some parameters like the string and the integer, and passing that values. So you will see how we can call the functions with parameters and without parameter. Now we are going to discuss the function with the return type values. So for that, what we need to do is, let us suppose I am going to create another function that its name is func, and for that at 6 2. Okay, and for that let us suppose I include x to x and their value is int, and I'm also going to describe my return type. So for that, what I need to do is I need to just press the colon and the dash, and after that the greater than arrow, and then I will set up the type int. So this is also a type of function with their return type. So see, because right now I am passing the return type to the integer, and in the method declaration I didn't pass any value, so that's why it's giving me the error missing return in a function expect to return int. Let us suppose I put return is equal to 0. So you will see this error is gone, because right now I specify the return type return is equal to 0. 0 is an integer. So that is how this function is work. Let us suppose I am passing some value. What it's going to do is var sum is equal to x plus 6. Okay, so what the function is going to do is it will add plus 6 to any given value, that is like any input that I'm going to provide to it, it will add the 6 in that. So now I'm going to print sum. Okay, so now how we call that method? So like at 6 2, and my value is, let us suppose I'm going to give 10. Okay, now I'm going to run that function, and you will see the 16 is printing on the console. So but now you will see there is one error that is coming up, that is variable sum was never mutable, consider changing to let constant. So see, by default if the value of any variable it's not going to change, then we will specify their data type is equal, their declaration, their variable declaration is equal to the let is for the constant. Even we discussed that thing in our previous lectures, like the let is the value remains same, the fix. So that is how it's going to work. Let us suppose I'm going to call the sum outside of this class. So let me see whether I'm able to do it or not. So see 6, see it's giving me error, use of unresolvable identifier sum. Why it's giving me error is because this sum is created inside that function, so its value is, it can only be active inside this function only. If you are calling that value outside from this function, its value never get executed and it's giving you error. So this is all about the variable scope. The scope of this variable is inside this function, so that's why this some variable is not calling outside. So I'm telling you so even I'm telling you one more thing. When I type this thing, this method name, this function name, so you will see here the int is specified on the front side, because right, but this is giving me the return type is equal to int, because this method is giving you return type of integer. So that is how the data type is going to work. So this is all about. In this tutorial we will learn what is function, how we can create a function without parameter, a simple function, then how we can call the function. After that we create the functions with multiple parameters, and then we try to call that function, and then I'll explain how we can create a function with their return type, because by default the return type is void, or you don't need to specify anything. But after that, in our like next function, we will specify the data type is equal to int. Hope you have a good knowledge about the function. Rest, when you actually work on the project, you have a better understanding on that. Hope you like my video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.